Hello everybody, it is Nathan here, aka Nate the Great. First off, to start the video, I would like to thank everyone that has shown me support and love towards starting this YouTube channel. Greatly appreciated. A huge shout out to Ben Allen, who gave us our question for the video. It's kind of a two-parter. He asked me who my unbiased pick for the NCAA tournament was going to be, which I will answer at the end of this video that I'm recording now. And then his second part of the question was who is my favorite ESPN anchor / sports analysis. He mentioned Stephen A. Smith and said hopefully it wasn't him. It's actually kind of funny because it's his counterpart, Max Kellerman. The way he works, it's just so professional, entertaining. I love watching him argue back and forth with Stephen A. It's a lot of fun to watch First Take. Today's video, I will be giving you my predictions for the NCAA March Madness bracket. Being a huge college basketball fan, I love this time of year. It's full of drama and Cinderella runs and upsets and all kinds of things like that. It's just so entertaining to watch. I'm going to also be creating a ESPN Tournament Challenge group that anyone is able to join. You can only have one entry though. All you need to do is go in and search NTG Sports Lounge Group, and you can just click join the group and fill out your bracket, and we'll compete against each other and see who has the best run. I'm going to start filling out my bracket now. I accidentally messed up yesterday while downloading the app and auto-filled everything. As you can see, it just went with the higher seeds to win every matchup. Yeah, but I'm going to fix that now. It'll update as I pick each team. And we'll start up here at the top corner with the first overall 1 seed. Virginia Cavaliers against UMBC. Obviously, Virginia is going to win that one. No 16 seeds ever beat a 1 seed. I don't think it's going to happen this year. In the second matchup to see who plays Virginia in the round of 32, it will be Kansas State against Creighton. I'm going to go ahead and pick Kansas State there. I watched Creighton a couple games this year. I wasn't really impressed. Haven't got to watch Kansas State, but I'm not very impressed with Creighton right now. They're not a great ball team in my opinion. The next matchup, the Kentucky Wildcats, coming off their SEC championship tournament win against Davidson, who won their conference championship today. I'm going to stick with Kentucky as it has there. They're playing great ball right now. Very entertaining. A lot better than it was earlier in the year. But, yeah, I'm going to stick with them to win there. Arizona against Buffalo. Arizona, I mean, they have a great team. Have a lot of things going on, but they're playing pretty decent ball right now. I'm going to pick them to win there. And with my first upset in the bracket, Miami against Loyola Chicago. I'm going to go with Loyola Chicago upsetting Miami there. Miami isn't playing the best ball right now. They lost to North Carolina in the second or third round of the ACC championship, the tournament. And I wasn't really impressed with them against North Carolina. Okay. The next matchup, Tennessee is going to beat Wright State. I'm going to go with Texas beating Nevada. And I'm going to stick with Cincinnati beating Georgia State. Now in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to stick with Xavier. Like I said, no 16 seeds ever beat a 1 seed. And I don't think it's going to happen in this tournament. Missouri against Florida State. I'm going to stick with Missouri with Michael Porter. I think he's a really good ball player. We just haven't seen much of him. I think he's going to show what he's got and how good of a player he is in this tournament. In the next matchup, Ohio State against South Dakota State. I'm going to stick with Ohio State. I've watched a few South Dakota State games. If they was up against anybody else, I might have picked them. It just depends on who they were facing in the first round. In the next game, we have Gonzaga against UNC Greensboro. Gonzaga is going to win that matchup. Houston against San Diego State. Houston had a great run in their AAU conference championship in the tournament. Only lost by a point to Cincinnati today. Really impressed me today. I hadn't got to watch much of their ball playing, but they really impressed me today. Michigan against Montana. Michigan's just playing out of this world right now. It's going to take a really good team to beat them this year in the tournament. In the next matchup, Texas A&M against Providence. I'm going to have Providence beating Texas A&M there. I don't think that Texas A&M can compete with Providence. And that's why I'm going to pick them to go over. This matchup, I'm going to pick North Carolina. Most people, well, some of the people that are subscribed to the channel know that I'm a huge North Carolina Tar Heel fan. Living in Kentucky, I get a lot of hatred for that. But I think they're going to win this matchup pretty easily against Lipscomb. And we'll go back up to the top of the bracket, to the right-hand side. And in the first matchup, we have Villanova against the playing game of ILU and Radford. Villanova's going to win that matchup pretty easily. I think Radford will win the playing game. Virginia Tech against Alabama. I'm going to pick Virginia Tech to move on there. In the next matchup, West Virginia versus Murray State. West Virginia's defense is outstanding. Plays great defense. I'm going to pick them to go on. Wichita State will win there. Florida, I'm going to pick St. Bonaventure to beat them and win their playing game as well. Texas Tech will beat Stephen F. Austin. Arkansas will beat Butler. Purdue will beat Fulton. Kansas will beat Penn. Seton Hall will lose to NC State. Clemson against New Mexico State. I'm going to pick an upset here with New Mexico State. I think they win. And then I'm also going to pick another upset with Charleston beating Auburn. TCU will win against whichever Syracuse or Arizona State. I don't know how Syracuse got in the tournament, but I don't think they make it in. I don't even think they win the playing game. So I have TCU moving on there. Michigan State against Bucknell. Michigan State will win that game. Rhode Island against Oklahoma. Rhode Island's going to win that matchup. Trae Young's just overrated. I don't like the way he plays. He's not that great of a player in my opinion. Duke against Iona. I think Duke will win that matchup as well. Going back up here, I think Virginia will win this matchup. I think Arizona will also beat Kentucky in the round of 32. And I'm going to pick Loyola Chicago, another big upset there against Tennessee, and have them advancing into the Sweet 16. I will have Cincinnati beating Texas. And I will have Xavier beating Missouri in a very close matchup, maybe going to overtime with Michael Porter there. Ohio State against Gonzaga. I'm going to have Gonzaga moving on there. Michigan against Houston. I will have Michigan moving forward. They have the hot hand right now. It's going to take a lot to beat them, like I said. North Carolina against Providence. I'm going to pick North Carolina to win there. Back up here to the top. Villanova against Virginia Tech. I'm going to pick Villanova to move on there as well. Here I'm going to pick West Virginia to beat Wichita State. Here I will pick Texas Tech to beat St. Bonaventure. Here we'll pick Purdue to beat Arkansas. Kansas against NC State. I pick Kansas to move on there as well. Here I pick New Mexico State to move into the Sweet 16 as a 12 seed. Michigan State will win this matchup very easily against TCU. Won't even be close. Duke will beat Rhode Island to advance to the Sweet 16. Virginia against Arizona. I'm going to pick Virginia to move on there as well. And then I'm going to pick Cincinnati to beat Loyola Chicago. in the matchup between Xavier and Gonzaga, I'm going to pick Gonzaga to move forward across Xavier, being the first 1 seed to fall out of the tournament. And then here I'm going to pick Michigan. It hurts me, it does, but Michigan's just got a hot hand, and North Carolina isn't as good as they was the past 2 years, making the championship game. Here I have Villanova beating Virginia. Let's stick with that matchup and that victory for Villanova. Here I have Texas Tech moving past Purdue to make it into the Elite Eight. Here I have Kansas beating the Cinderella story. I think it runs here for New Mexico State. Kansas will beat them to advance to the Elite Eight. And then here I think Michigan State will beat Duke to advance to the Elite Eight. Chance to go to the Final Four. Virginia is going to beat Cincinnati. It'll be a great matchup. Can't wait to watch it if it does happen. Here I'm going to pick between Gonzaga and Michigan. I'm going to pick Michigan to beat Gonzaga to go to the Final Four. Here I'm going between Texas Tech and Villanova. I'm going to pick Villanova to beat Texas Tech. And this matchup for a chance to go to the Final Four between Kansas and Michigan State, I'm going to pick Michigan State to beat Kansas. So our Final Four is set. It is between the first matchup of the Virginia Cavaliers against the Michigan Wolverines and the Villanova Wildcats against the Michigan State Spartans. In this matchup, Michigan-Virginia, I've said it all along in this video, it's going to take a good team to beat Michigan, and I think Virginia is that team that's going to end their run. Got Virginia moving on to the national championship. And here between Villanova and Michigan State, Villanova, probably one of the better teams all year. Michigan State has its up and downs, so I'm going to pick Villanova to move on to the championship game. And in the championship game, I'm going to have Villanova versus Virginia. And I'm going to stick with the Virginia Cavaliers, the best team all year, to win the national championship. Thank you guys for watching. I will be uploading more videos come next week. I will be taking a little rest where I'm on spring break vacation right now in Pikeville. Thanks for the love. Peace out.